All right, for our last video of Chapter 7, we're going to talk about electrons in chemical reactions. First of all, sometimes you have free radicals, which are atoms that still have electrons available for bonding. And so we name those free radicals, and it could be an atom or it could be a group of atoms. Make sure you know that definition. Now, free radicals are always trying to find something to pair up with, because remember, if they can pair up with something and have a full outer layer, then they're most happy that way. Now, electrons can also be transferred in redox reactions. So electrons are transferred in ionic bonds, but they could also be transferred in chemical redox reactions. Now, you just need to know the definition of an oxidation-reduction reaction, and it's a chemical change in which one of your species is oxidized, and you need to know that oxidized means loses electrons, and then another part of your reaction is reduced, and that means it gains electrons. So oxidation-reduction reactions can also be known as redox reactions. So it's kind of like a nickname for them. Now, reaction rates. When we say reaction rates, that means how fast can the reaction take place, kind of like the speed of the reaction. So anything that increases contact between the particles will actually increase the rate of the reaction. Now, these are some examples. Most reactions are going to go faster at a higher temperature. Also, if you have a larger surface area of the product that you're trying to react, it can speed up the reaction as well. Higher concentrations of reactants react faster, and reactions that happen at a higher pressure will also happen at a quicker rate. And then if you have larger or more bulky molecules, they react slowly. Now, you need to know what can speed up a reaction and what can slow down a reaction. And if you'll notice, everything except that very last one we talked about, if you increase it, it increases the speed of the reaction. If you decrease it, it decreases the speed of the reaction. So if we lower the temperature, the reaction goes slower. If we raise the temperature, the reaction goes faster. If I decrease surface area, I slow the reaction down. When I increase surface area, I speed the reaction up. Okay, so make sure that you're familiar with those, how you can speed up a reaction and how you can slow down a reaction. Now, we have things called catalysts and inhibitors. Catalyst speeds up a reaction, but it's not changed by the reaction. So it's going to still stay as a catalyst, but it's something that you can place into the reaction to help speed it up. Substances that slow down reactions are called inhibitors. And if you think about that, that's kind of what the word means. When you inhibit something, you're slowing it down or you're stopping it from happening. Now, enzymes are biological catalysts. So enzymes are things in our stomach that help speed up the process in the chemical reaction of digestion. And then you also, just make sure you know that definition. And then we also have things called substrates, and they are reactants in a reaction that is actually catalyzed by an enzyme. So the substrate is going to be my reactant, and the enzyme we can place into the reaction to speed up that substrate. Now, one last thing we need to talk about is equilibrium. Reactions may happen slowly or quickly, but still go in the same direction. Some processes, however, can go in both directions. So instead of having an arrow going from the left to the right, you're going to have half an arrow going to, or you're going to have an arrow going to the right, but also an arrow coming back to the left, because it means that that system is in equilibrium and the reaction is going forward and backward. Make sure you know the definition of chemical equilibrium. It's just a state of balance, and it means that the speed of the forward chemical reaction equals the speed of the reverse chemical reaction. I'm sorry, and that was our last slide. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go ahead and summarize this video, and I would like you to do an A, B, C, D, E summary. So go A through E, and for every letter, I'd like you to write an important fact that you learned from the video. I hope you have a great evening, and I'll see you in class.